everyone, and welcome back to another great episode of Raihana's Cuisines. Today we're going to be doing a whole roasted tandoori chicken with a kick. Now I'm going to be showing you some ingredients, but before that I just want to make sure that you guys turn on your oven to 425 degrees. We're going to be putting the chicken in for 40 minutes on 425, and then we're going to be lowering the temperature to 375 for another 30 to 40 minutes. So make sure your oven is nice and preheated. Number two, I have a whole chicken here that I have washed really well. I also washed it with some vinegar, and this is just a paper towel that I put in there just so that it soaks up all the water. And I almost forgot the point that I was going to say. The thing I was going to say is make sure that if your chicken is in the refrigerator, that you have it out an hour before you start marinating it and putting it in the oven. Just because when you have like a cold chicken that goes in a hot oven, it kind of shocks the chicken. So kind of want it on room temperature. So let's get started. I'm going to show you what ingredients we're going to use, and the ingredients you can switch them around if you can't find something, or so we're going to you can go ahead and switch some ingredients around if you like. Now I have here 8 tablespoons of butter here, and you don't have to use all of it, but I like using all of it just because it really gives a really nice crisp and color to the chicken, and it's unsalted. So with that, I'm going to be using some parsley flakes. I'm going to be using some tandoori masala. Now the one that I use is Cuisines, the brand. I'm not promoting this brand in any way. This is the only brand that we get here, so I use this one. But I know Sean has a tandoori masala out too, so you could use that one if you want. I also recommend using a very, very good Spanish paprika. Do you see the color of this paprika? It's really nice and red and not like maroon and burnt. So you want to have a really nice fresh paprika. We're also going to be seasoning it with some Cajun seasoning, completely optional. It just gives it a little bit more taste, I think. And then I picked up this rosemary garlic seasoning blend. I keep this in my cupboard for if I run out or don't have any of my rosemary or basil and all my fresh herbs, then I use this one. Then I have some fresh ginger and garlic, salt. I've got 3 limes here. We're going to be splashing 1 lime in the seasoning, and then what we're going to do is we're going to be doing the 2 limes. We're going to cut them up and we're going to stuff them inside the chicken. So the chicken is skinned, and I prefer using the skinned chicken just because it's going to trap all the moisture inside of the chicken. So let's get started here. Again, just like I told you, we just, you want the chicken really, really nice and dry so the marinade really sticks on there. And I'm going to grab another bit of paper towel just to make sure that I've got the whole thing is really nice and dry. I'm going to pull up my sleeve just because I don't want it to touch the chicken here. Now, when we start marinating this, and you see how I have this sitting on a paper towel so it soaks up all the water. Now what you could do is you could tie the legs together with a twine, just if you're planning to put it on the table and serve it whole. Now I'm just making this for home, and I'm just gonna carve it before I put it on the table, so I'm not gonna close the legs with the twine, but if you want you can do that, and then I'll show you how we're gonna put the chicken wings inside so it doesn't burn. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to move it to the side for now. And then I also have some tomatoes and some really nice baby cucumbers here. And this is just for my garnishing around the chicken. And you can choose any vegetables, anything you like. You can do roasted potatoes with roasted onions, whatever you like. Actually, I will be serving this with killer mashed potatoes. So make sure you watch my mashed potato video. It should be on probably next week. So here we go. So I've got my butter here. And it's room temperature butter, and since it's really nice and hot, it melted. It just I just took it out like 2 hours before from the fridge, so nice. So we're gonna take this and we're just gonna add a little bit of ginger and garlic in here. And I really never ever cook meat without my ginger and garlic. So we've got our ginger and garlic in there. We're gonna season it with some salt. Go ahead and add about 2 tablespoons of the I want you to get a close-up on that, so if anybody wants to buy it, it is the rosemary and garlic seasoning, and it's got no MSG in it. I really cannot emphasize enough not to use MSG in your diet. So let's go ahead and start with the Cajun seasoning, and we're gonna be doing about a tablespoon of Cajun seasoning. We're gonna do 2 tablespoons of paprika. And we're gonna see how I like the color of this. If I feel that I'm not getting the really red color, and I wanna make this chicken really nice and red. You don't have to, but I just wanna do it that way. So we might be adding some food coloring in it. And I've got about, let's put all of it in there, 3 tablespoons of tandoori masala. And then I'm just gonna add about a tablespoon of parsley flakes, dried parsley flakes. And that's just to add some color in there. You really don't have to, but it's just looks nice. Now, I don't know if you can really tell, I've got really good lighting here, so you probably can tell that we've got a good color going. But we don't have like this bright red color going. So I think I'm gonna go grab some red food coloring, and I'm gonna add some red food coloring in it. So okay. Now you can omit this step completely if you don't want to add any food coloring, but sometimes we go to restaurants and their chicken is so nice bright red, and for some reason my kids and my husband, you know, everybody looks at the color and they're like, oh my god, the chicken looks so good. So I usually don't add too much coloring in there, but hey, let's give this a try and see how red this chicken comes out. The one thing we have left is our limes, and I'm just gonna rub that and roll that so we can release the juices in there. And I'm gonna do the whole lime because I like the strong, bold flavors in my whole chicken, because sometimes it can get kind of bland. Okay. And by adding the lime juice, it even kind of got the red color to really come out. Okay, so now we have not touched chicken, we haven't added any chicken in here, so this is gonna be safe for me to give it a try. And you want to give it a try because you really want to have a fantastic taste for this chicken. So go ahead and give this a try. Excellent. It's a little sour, the salt is fine, it's a little spicy, and it tastes really good. Now let's go ahead and get our chicken here. Right here. And I'm just gonna make sure that I'm gonna dry the chicken again really well. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take the chicken and I'm going to put it right on our roasting pan. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure that I don't touch anything else, because you want to make sure when you're dealing with chicken that you're not cross-contaminating anything. So I get this over here, and the limes that I squeezed, I'm also going to put that inside, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut the other lime, and I'm going to put that in there. And I had already rolled these previously to get the juices out. Again, this knife that I used, I have touched chicken with it, so I'm gonna put that right in the wash and not use it again. Especially if you have little kids and stuff, you just wanna make sure that you're not cross-contaminating it. Okay. All right, you know, I think I'm gonna put on the other gloves, and I like using gloves. If you don't, just find that it's really safe, good, sanitary. If you don't like it, that's fine. I use them at home too, for home cooking, not only for the videos. So, what we're gonna first do is, okay, so first we're gonna do is we're gonna take the marinade here, and we're gonna start rubbing it right on top of the skin, just like this. And you want to get the marinade everywhere, so you want to make sure you get it on the wing part too, and that's why I didn't put the wings in yet, because I want to make sure that really coat the chicken really well. Now this chicken is steroid free, it's organic, and this is the reason why you'll find my chicken really nice, small. It's not one of those huge chickens with like those really huge drumsticks and stuff. I like using the organic ones there. I know they run a little expensive, but with somebody who doesn't have a colon, I think it's a good investment. So okay, there we go. Now I'm gonna just turn it over to the side. I hope you guys can see. And I want to get this tandoori masala all over. We're giving it a good bath. It's got to be all over. Coat the whole thing. I'm just getting underneath the skin here. And that's gonna be really flavorful, because what's gonna happen is all that butter we put in there, it's gonna melt and it's gonna run right into the legs and right into the wings there. Looks like it's spitting out the lime. Okay, there we go. I think I got it right. Okay. Okay, now what we're gonna do is I just wanna make sure that I finished all my marinade, because there's nothing like too much marinade. So we're just gonna take this wing here and we're just gonna put it underneath the chicken so we don't burn it. Now see, if you were to take the twine and tie those together, you could, and that's how it would stay after you cut the twine off. So I'm gonna go ahead, finish marinating this little chicken of mine, and I'm gonna stick it in the oven, and then after 40 minutes we'll come back and we'll see how it's doing in the oven. So it's that's the beeping of the oven. It's been about 40 minutes. I timed it, and I want to show you how the chicken looks like. Looks amazing. So I'm gonna put it back in, but I'm gonna lower the temperature because I can see on the sides here that it's not quite done yet. So I'm gonna put it back in there, and we're gonna reduce the temperature down to 375 degrees, and I'm gonna put the timer at another 30 minutes. So I'm gonna see you back here after 30 minutes, and we'll take it out and I'll show you how we're gonna present it on. I got the chicken out of the oven, and I highly recommend that you leave the chicken out for about 20 minutes. So you let the chicken rest. If we were to carve this chicken right now, the juices are all gonna run, and you're gonna end up with a very dry chicken. So what I wanna do is I just wanna take just a little piece off from the top and give it a try so I can let you know. And as I'm cutting it, if you bring this up, I just wanna show them that when I was cutting it, do you see how much juices ran? These are all the juices that ran out when I am cutting it. So this is why it is extremely important to not carve the chicken until it has rested. So I'm gonna give this a try. And I have to say, it is the best baked chicken or roasted chicken. It's just like a rotisserie chicken where really nice and soft. It's locked all the juices in there. It's moist. So basically this concludes our video on how to make a whole tandoori chicken in the oven. So I hope you enjoyed this episode with me, and I hope we can meet back here and do another great recipe. So thank you for joining me on this episode of Raihana's Cuisines. Hope to see you here next time with another great recipe. See you then, friends. And I highly emphasize that we should leave the chicken for about 20 to 25 minutes. Let it rest. Excuse me.